basic F250 with the manual seat. Today I'm going to try to upgrade it to a power seat that I purchased from a wrecking yard. It is not the 10-way, it's the, I think it's 6-way or 4-way power seat. The first step is to disconnect the battery terminals. I don't want the airbag going off. My particular truck here has dual batteries. So I'm going to disconnect. I was told just the negative cables, but I believe I'm going to do both on each battery just to be on the safe side. Okay, I have both batteries disconnected. I did both terminals on each battery just because I didn't want to take a chance with the airbag, and I tucked the terminals out of the way, as you can see. That way there's no chance they're going to tap the battery and energize the system. This one kind of moved a little bit on me there. Okay, to remove the seats, there's 4 bolts. They're kind of hidden under these covers. I find it best to use some sort of pick like this. And if you push on the bottom, you can see it opens up. And you wedge the pick under there and pry it up. It just snaps out. It's a very simple piece of plastic. Back to bolts. Same deal. Just got to push in a little bit. Push down on these actually. And you open that up and you can put the pick tool in there. You might want to move the seat forward to get the back ones and move the seat back to get the front ones. Up here at the front now, I'm going to slide the front seat back so I have access to the bolts. Hopefully, impact driver can break them free. That one is no good. So it looks like I'm moving back to the socket here. Again, I'm not too talented here to do this all one-handed, but if I can break it just to free a little bit, give the socket, the impact driver, a little more help here. Oh, geez. It will be much better, a lot easier. These are long bolts. There it goes. All right, let's give it a shot here again. See what we can do. Shots on, and much easier. So officially the seat is free with the exception of the wires. As you can see under there, we've got a lot of wires. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tip the seat back a little bit carefully so I don't stretch anything. And then there's a tab on the bottom of this, on the bottom of this connector here. And it's kind of hard to see, but you have to push it in and the gray part flips down, which will release the 2 pieces. I'm going to put on hold, pause it here real quick while I do that, just to give you a better angle here. If you look, kind of hard with the sun, but between this gray piece, there's a little tab down there that you push it and you can see it separate. With that separated, I don't know how to mount this so I could show you guys, but you push this black piece in there, the gray piece will flip down. I'm gonna try it. Okay, you can kind of see there where the black tab I pushed down was catching on those 2 rails. With this all the way down, pull it out. The seat is disconnected. There's one of those little Christmas tree lock things in there. Just pull it right out, and that's it. The seat is free. So now we're gonna go over to the new seat. I acquired it from a wrecking yard. Like I said before, it's a 4-way or 6-way power seat. It doesn't have the power recline, but what it does have is the forward, backward, up, down motion, which would be greatly appreciated. I recommend your old seat stripping that down first, because if you damage the material, it doesn't really matter. You're scrapping it most likely, or the airbags are blown. The one I have, the airbag did blow, so I'm going to take the airbag out of this seat and put it in the new frame. I wish I would have taken pictures before I started disconnecting all the items off that seat, but it should be pretty straightforward. I'll try to do it with this new seat, or I'm sorry, the original seat that came with the truck, to show you how it comes off. I have the original seat, non-power seat, out of my truck. It's a lot lighter than I thought. It's maybe 30-40 pounds. Just put it on my shoulder and carried it. This is the seat I purchased from a wrecking yard. Very similar, but not quite the same. I already took the headrest out, took the blown airbag out, the cushions, and they have these clips all around it. They're a little tricky, and I'll show you what I did to break those free. I don't need any of that. Really what I'm after is this. And it came with the control panel as well. This is the control panel. As you can see, it's not the 10-way, but it shouldn't really be any different. I'm gonna start breaking down the new one and hopefully do it in reverse order to installing it. So the first item off will be the last item on the new frame. Okay, headrest removal. Might seem basic for a lot of you guys, but it's not too intuitive. There's two small buttons on each of the post mounts. You push them up and you raise it up, and with both pushed in, you pull it out. It's kind of hard again to do one-handed, but I'll see what I can do here. Push one there, and it comes right out. So now I've got the headrest, which I'm going to save because, again, it's slightly different from the other headrest that I have. So that will go on the new seat. I'm going to do the bottom first. One of the things you have to do before you do the bottom is flip it on its side and remove this. Now this looks like it's pretty tricky, but it actually isn't. You basically just pull it off. To remove this, I have a panel removal tool. I can't remember where I bought it, probably Harbor Freight, one of those things you don't use often. I'm not in the business here, but you put it right there, it pops right off. As you can see, there's a horseshoe-like pin. To put it back on, you line up and just tap it on with your palm. Works pretty well. This one's a little better shape than the one that came from the donor seat, just cleaner look. So I'll probably keep this too with the new seat frame. Then over here, as you can tell, there's some torque screws right there. There's one right about there. I believe there's one hidden way up here. We need to remove this. I believe this comes off the same way, the lumbar support. Yep, pops right off. And then I'll take those screws out and show you. To get this panel off, you kind of have to twist it a little bit. I don't have any need for it, but again, I don't want to break it. You never know. Remove the one screw from the back, and you can see a little better here where the other screw is. It's a torque screw. I don't know what the number is, but I just have the DeWalt kit that has them all in there. So I've got the two screws out. I'm going to keep these. I have spares from the other seat, but don't want to take a chance. So now I can flip it back outside again. Then to get this off, I believe you push up and out like this. I can show you on the new panel. There's a lip that it goes around. That kind of holds it in place. And then this also holds it in place. It's like a little drop-on clip. So you can see where the one screw came out and the other screw on the back. So it's more or less a two-handed job here. So I'm gonna pause it again. Okay, I twisted this side up and got it off that clip there. And then you can see there's another clip here. Push this side up and it came right out. And there's really no wires or anything. This is a base manual seat. Also, there's a clip here. It's kind of hard to get to with this bracket. When I was removing it from the other seat, I just removed this. It's the same Allen key torque. Just remove this bracket, very easy to put back on. Okay, so I removed that bracket right there. And as you can see here, these are little tension straps that hold the backrest on. To remove those, this one comes off very easy. It just pops off. This one, you have to slide that red tab up. You can see it just slides up fairly easily. And then there should be a little push on it right up there in front of the red tab. You push and you pull the bottom part out. It should come. Again, I wish I had somebody here to help me, but it doesn't work out too well. Let's see if I do it one hand. Got it. So that you can see that tab I push down there and this comes right out. So that's done. I can take out this. So that's for the back cover. And you can kind of see they ran the wire around it a little bit there too, so probably gonna have to pop that off with my panel tool just to get that piece out. There we go, I can slide that around. And that's pretty much it. I believe the yellow is for the airbag. So, you know, again, battery's disconnected, the seat's out of the car. Don't believe there's enough charge to make it go off, I hope. It'd be bad if it did. But now you can see these pieces here. These are kind of a pain to get off. You push forward and they kind of wrap all the way around. What I was doing is I was taking some string and making a loop. And if I thread the loop through here and tie it around, I can pull the string and release the tension. I'll show you what I'm planning. Okay, as you can see, I ran the string through. It's like a cordage. Ran it behind here, made sure I went all the way underneath that little flap and tied it up. So now I can pull this down and it comes right off. A lot easier than trying to break your fingers. I'll do the other one right here in a second. Okay, you can see I did the same thing. This one I'm not going to tie. I figure that once I loosen that up, there's a little less tension. The reason I'm starting back here is because this front one is pretty big. And if I loosen up the tension here, maybe that front one will be better. So I have it, I pull straight down, and it pops right off. Take the string out, and I can go on to the side ones. You can kind of see, actually there's none on this side. I could have swore that, oh, there's one right there. That one right there. That's come off, and there's nothing on, oh, this one must have popped off automatically. Just see how it snaps? It's like a, it's designed so the tighter, more tension on it, the stronger it locks. So this one right here, you can kind of squeeze the cushion if you want, and that'll take the tension off. I'm gonna put down the phone so I can do this one. And with this one, I'm using a flat screwdriver just because it's kind of tricky there. You get underneath there and you kind of just pry it off. Once it's off, almost off, it comes off completely. So the only other one we have to do is this front one. Now you have to be very careful with this because this is very sharp. Kind of surprisingly sharp for a seat where you sit, but a lot of this metal, as you can see on the other seat, is exposed, sharp, stamped steel of some sort. I believe there's one more right there too that I just discovered. We'll see if we can get that one out too before I go too far along here. Get that one out maybe. Oh boy. There it goes. See, it just comes right off that corner. So now I have to remember how all this stuff came off so I can put it back together. And that one, same way. Now that there's no tension on the back, it comes off very easily. So that's pretty much it for the bottom seat. I'm gonna flip it back up, and hopefully the seat cushion comes right off. Hopefully. And it should be ready to go on the new donut, but I'm gonna do this last because it came off first. So it might just be that it's caught there with the, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, those cables are kind of just holding it in place, and this cushion's wrapped around, as you can see. So that has to kind of fit through there. So what you have to do is kind of like push some of this through. Watch your fingers there, kind of break a finger. And that's it. The cushion comes right off. There's new cushion. Now I have no need to take the cushion, remove the cushion from the cover, because I plan on using this as one piece. I'll set it over here by the other frame. Now the backrest is a little different story because I have to get the airbag out. Not terrible, but just one more thing to do. I was a little intimidated by it, but everything I've read about kind of put me at ease. So basically on the backrest, as you can see, there's two wires, cables coming through here. One is for the power for the airbag, obviously. The other is for the lumbar. And it's connected with this, almost like an S-clip. It's very tricky to separate. But if you can, get it started on one end and just work your way down. And then get a little start. pull it right off. Now, we have to take the cover off. A lot of these clips and wires go right through the bottom piece. I don't want to cut that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this wire here, which is already done, it looks like. And then use my panel tool. Again, I think it came from Harbor Freight. I like it. Just pull it, it pops right out. And then you can unzip the backrest. I kind of tuck it around up there a little bit, but once you get, I wish you put a tab on it, but just unzip it. And we're going to be using it so we don't cut anything. And that cable thing, I believe there's a release for it somehow. I'm not exactly sure, but that is for the lumbar support. So it looks like it's held in with a little lock of some sort. So I do want to release that so I can pull it out, unless I can release it from this side. Okay, after messing around with this, you can see the little clips fit in these holes. It's kind of a pain, so I abandoned that idea. I don't know where the hole is now. I can't find it there, but I could put it back on when I get the cover off. So what I did was I came down here, I put this handle back, and I rotated it to give me slack. It's kind of like a bicycle lock. When I had the slack, I put a screwdriver right through this piece where my finger is and pop the cable off. Then I was able to feed the cable and the airbag wire right through the cover, through that hole that I had right somewhere around here on this piece. So now that's free. So now if you look down here, you can see the airbag. There's a little jack there. You push this white tab back and the airbag detaches from the wire. So that's it. So what I'm gonna do now is stand it back up, and I'm gonna gently remove the cover. But before I do that, I almost forgot here, I'm turning off the side. See, there's 2 bolts with nuts. That's what holds the airbag in place. So I'm gonna remove those bolts, push those bolts through the frame, reposition it so I can just slide the cover right off. These are 10mm bolts for the airbag. A couple of turns on to loosen them up. A couple turns to loosen them up. And then I should be able to spin them by hand to get them off, I hope. Not a lot of room here. Tell you what, a screw gun would be a lot easier, but it's only 2 bolts. So, plus it's a good reason to take my time, especially dealing with an airbag. I don't want it damaged or an issue with it. So there's 1 screw, or 1 nut, I should say. This one's still a little tight. There it goes. Nope, that one's still tight. Switch hands here. I must put some thread lock on this one. It does not want to budge. However, the truck's fairly new. It has about 15,000 miles on it, so it can't be corrosion or anything, but maybe just torqued it down too much or damaged the threads, or the way it's designed. Who knows what Ford did. There it goes. All right, so now the airbag is almost free. The last nut has to come off. There's the last nut again, 10mm. So you see I can push those down in it. I'm gonna stand the seat back up. And you can see I can pull it out like this. So you pull it out, got the airbag. So the airbag is now free from the frame. This cushion here, I'm gonna do the same thing. And I can push it up, but before I do that, I almost forgot. I keep forgetting things here. We have these guides for the headrest. I've seen people pull them off, just pry them off, and I tried that. It didn't work too well. I broke one. So for the other one, I devised a better way. And I'll show you what I did. I'll flip this over, flip the seat over, and then I got a block of wood. I didn't really have a block of 1x2 would probably be fine, and a hammer. And this seemed to work the best. But before I do that, I want to get this cushion pushed down. If you push it down, you can actually feel the bottom of the guides. And this is what the guide should look like. Almost looks like a ignition coil, if you will, for a car. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the block of wood on this top edge here. It's long enough where it extends here where I just tap with the hammer and it pops right out. So let's give it a shot here, see what happens. So again, you got to push that cushion down. I'm going to be saving these cushions, so I want to make sure I, protect them. These cushions are better than the cushions on the donor truck. So I got that there, and I'm going to tap this with the hammer. Again, I'm going to need my other hand, so hold on. Okay, I found it easier if I actually remove this. There's those clips again. If you do it, you can kind of see way down there where those headrest guides are. So you got to tap them with a hammer using a block of wood, and they do come out. Okay, the headrest guides didn't come out as planned. You can see this one cracked. Luckily, I have the ones from the donor seat that I'm installing. They aren't that expensive. I believe they're $8 each. Just one of the things that, I guess if this is all that breaks, I'm in good shape. Okay, so now I got the cushion free, and the airbag is on this side. What I plan to do is be very gentle, because I understand these seams are designed to break. When you have an accident, the airbag goes off and they split right through. So I just pull them up, and as you can see, the airbag is retained in the cushion with everything on it. So I don't plan on zipping that up until I get everything situated. And then going back to the original lumbar support, you kind of see how this clip goes in there and kind of twists around, and this one does the same thing. I believe it's up here though. Kind of a little bit of a hassle, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. So we can put that in there. And that's almost it. I think it goes in like that, I believe. I can't remember, but it doesn't really matter since I'm not using the seat. I don't know what I'll do with the seat, if I sell it or whatever, but the next person can enjoy it, I guess. That's it. I'm going to move it over to the new seat now. I'm going to start with the backrest, because that's the last one off of the original seat. It's going to go on the new seat first. Okay, here is the new donor electric seat. One thing I may do, which I haven't decided yet, is the seatbelt receptacle, the receiver. I understand when these are in accidents, they kind of get locked up and frozen. There's one bolt that holds it on place, and the wiring harness secured there and locked in there. I might just take it off the original seat since I didn't have any problems with that one, but I'm going to get the cushions on first. Okay, here's the cushion that's going on the new, to me, seat frame, and it should just slide right over the new frame. Gotta be careful I don't snag anything on any of the wires or framework for the lumbar or the airbag, for that fact. And kind of come over here. Now the airbag is on this side, and there's two holes right there that the airbag fits into. But we got to slide this over first to make it look all pretty and stuff. I tore that a little bit there, but it's on the back. It's not a big deal. And it just drops right down. And you don't want to forget this. I saw somebody's video where they forgot to hook that up and they got an airbag warning. I want to get this lined up with those screw holes, and then I could plug it in. Maybe I'll plug it in here. It should just snap in, and that white lock, I'm gonna have to push forward again. I'm gonna get to that, I'll be back. Okay, I just pushed it in and it snapped right in, which is perfect. And as you can see, the cushion pretty much went right into place without issue. Even the foam kind of fell back into place, which is great. I do have to put those airbag screws through the spots there and secure those again, but I'm gonna get right on that now. Okay, there's the airbag bolts on. I decided to cheat instead of using the sock. I'm gonna use my screw gun, but I'm gonna go real gently so I don't cross any threads, and hopefully I'm able to tighten the chuck. I'll be back. Okay, take two with the chuck tightened this time. Alright, that's that. I'll probably put it on the socket driver here just to make sure they're tighten up by hand. I don't trust the screw gun over tightening it or not tightening enough. I don't want to deform the bolt or the metal. So yeah, that's pretty tight. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Okay, that's that. So what I have to do next is put these clips on, zip up the back, and make that connection. I'll be back. Okay, I put those clips on the back. They actually went on surprisingly easy, I should say. Then I've got the zippers done. Now, you might remember I had the two cables, one for the airbag coming through here, and the cable for the lumbar support. This seat, however, has power lumbar, so I'm going to have to undo this connector and run it through here as well. Not a big deal. They put these nice holes in there. I'm going to do that now. Okay, that was fairly easily done. You might recall that this strap went over these. So this strap's the same way. It goes over, I believe, this one here to hold it in place. So once I make this connection, I can push it in there and we are in great shape. So I might just push it through now and then make the connection in a second. But the Christmas tree little push pin thing works great. So now the airbag is officially done. And that red pin is pushed back. That prevents it from accidentally falling off or opening as you might not want that to happen. So this, I'm going to connect this one in here as well just now. And then I'm going to go over it with the strap. And I'll plug this in. This one doesn't have any type of red push pin, but you'll hear it snap. That's it. So the seat is now wired up. Now this is that seat harness that we saw in the truck. You might remember I pushed down. You can kind of see it better here. You push down and you flip this back. And now, luckily, the lot that I bought this seat from, the wrecking yard, they left this in. They just cut it from the body harness, I believe. So that way it protects the pins and stuff. And then you can pull this off. Oh, it's a little harder than I thought, but with one hand, I don't know if I can do it with one hand, but I'll get it off in a second, and then it'll be ready to be put in the new truck. A couple of more push pins. You got to push this one back in, make it look nice and pretty, and then I have to get the bottom cushion in. The bottom cushion should be much easier. Oh, you know what? One thing I forgot. This little harness, this little locking mechanism. So I'm going to take this off and do that. Okay, maybe I was getting ahead of myself. I made these connections and got this all done and made it look pretty, and I realized I have to push the bottom seat cushion through it. And it's a lot harder to do when you have all the wires on and the other pieces. So in the process of trying to push this down, I actually cut myself on some of the steel. Not bad, but it's so sharp you don't even feel your cut, you just bleed. So you might want to wear gloves. I'm going to try to push this down without filming at the same time. Okay, got the cushion on. I got the back pushed through. I'm going to show you on the old cushion that came with the truck, with the donor seat. There's a little channel here. Kind of see it. It's giving me some grief. I had to wrap it around this bar. So in order to do so, I had to undo the wiring that I did before. And these little clips just pop right on. They go on a heck of a lot easier than come off. That's all I could say. You might have to push on the cushion a little bit if you have any difficulty. I did, as I mentioned earlier, scratch myself. I used some Armor All cleaner to get a little bit of the blood off the seat cushion. Not a big deal. And then these little clips, they kind of do a 180, if you will. You fold around, and then you kind of push them on, and they just snap it in place. And that's pretty much it. I think there's one more over here, but I got it stuck under the cushion. See that one? It does the exact same thing. It goes 180, push it on, it locks on, and that's it. You might remember I took off this bracket. Makes it a lot easier to get in here without that bracket being on the spot. Fairly easy to do. This thing's the same as the other side. Just loops around, snaps on, Might have to actually give it a good push because I don't think I'm on that one all the way. I think it goes under the motor and it goes in. But yeah, that's it. You can see I got a little more blood on this side from my cut, but these Armor All cleaning wipes work really well. I'm kind of shocked. And that's it, guys. So now I can do the wiring. Like third time's a charm. Gotta find this. Goes in there like that. No big deal, the strap goes over that. I just gotta find the wiring harness that plugs that in. Move the wires out of the way. Snaps right in. This is the airbag one, as I mentioned multiple times. Goes right down there, and then push that red tab to keep it all done. A lot easier to make sure these things are pushed in before you do anything else. I think I was dealing with this connector here when I realized I made a mistake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bracket back together here, and then I will separate this connector, and I'll transfer the plastic pieces from there to here and put the control panel on the side. So, okay, this was the seat that I removed, the non-power seat. I thought this was actually broken on the other one, but it's two pieces on the inner side by the center seat. The outside has one nice big piece. You can see there's a screw here that has to come out, and I believe this is just a push pin there, one of those things you release it and pull it out, and I don't know if there's another screw anywhere. I think that's it. And this piece should come off, and I'll transfer it to the new truck. New seat, I should say. Okay, there were a lot more screws than I thought. There's one there, there's one there, and I believe there's one back there, one there, and then this one. So once you get it off, though, you slide it back. That seems to be the best. I'm going to try to put it on this seat here, this new seat of mine, and we'll see how it fits on. It goes up to like that, and then I'm not quite sure, but I'll figure out and explain it in a second. Okay, I got that trim piece on the other side. Honestly, it was probably one of the more difficult things I had to do. Kind of silly. Now I'm going to look into replacing the seat belt female end from the original seat to this new power seat. Once I get that done, I'll be able to put the control panel back on, and I will check into that. I'm going to look for a large torque setting right there, torque screw. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to swap out the seat belts here. This is a Torque T50. There's a couple of those push pins again. You need to use your panel remover tool, pop that off. And I believe there's another one hidden somewhere down here. And then you have to disconnect the plug for it. So the other panel is right there. The other, whatever it is called, the Christmas tree-like plug holding it together. So I'm gonna get those out and I'll be back. Okay, this is the seat belt that I removed from the new frame. I've read somewhere that when the car's in an accident, these things need to be reset or something. So given that the airbag was off on this frame, I decided to just swap it out. Just if you're planning on doing the same, it's a lot easier to do it when the cushion is off. So since I've already got the cushion on, it was a little bit of finagling, but I was able to do it. The plug is kind of a strange plug. You just push on the side here and it pulls right out. I'm gonna go grab the one off my old seat and install that on the new frame. Torque T50 again. Comes right off. Got a couple of these little panels too, and you can see down here, like I was saying before, it's a lot easier to do it with the cushion off. So with this one, if I can get my hand through there, you push. I'll try to set that up there without blocking if I can. Let's see if this works out okay. I don't know. Probably not, but you push on the side here, should be able to pull it right out. Well, again, I'm gonna need 2 hands. Sorry, guys. All right, there you go. You can kind of see again, I push down on the tab on this side, and this pulls right out. Again, there's some of those Christmas tree locks. The panel removal tool that I have works really well to get those out. If you don't have one, you can always use one of these. You just got to be careful. And put in here, just don't cut that wire. Just get the panel removal tool out, and then you can get that Christmas tree, the holder thing out, and you're in good shape. There it is. So there's the new one, or the original one that doesn't have any damage. Kind of interesting. It's like the same one, but the one that I took out had a little piece of felt on there, probably prevent it from rattling or whatever, but almost identical. So out with the old, or out with the new one that's from the wrecked vehicle, and in with this one. Pretty easy to put in. Just goes basically just like that again. Got the little Christmas tree thing. Oops, just need the right driver here. I'm just using an impact driver, light 3/8 inch driver. Some of these screws and bolts are held on pretty tightly, so just a little easier getting a little extra torque on. And I'll tuck the wire through. Hopefully you can get that wire through there. It's kind of weird, it goes right between the pieces of metal there, which I think there'd be a grommet or something, but I guess there isn't. And flip it back to its side. Like this. Here's a one piece. Here's a connector. And again, you can kind of see on this one here, that is a button you push down on. All snaps back together, and I wish I had an extra hand. Push to hear the snap, and then this has 2 little prongs that go right up into, if I can get past all these other wires, right up into there, and it should fall right into those little holes. Hopefully there's one. I think I can line it up here. Well, maybe not. Let's see where I can find those holes. Okay, there we go. There's 1, 2. Push it, it's locked in. And that's all. So now the seat is completely done. This is that harness that gets locked back in when you push everything back in. And that's it. It's all assembled. With the exception of, I don't know what that was popping, probably me doing something. I need these locator pins. Those should, I repeat, should just go in here. This is the one that I cracked. I don't know if it's actually gonna work in there, but let's try it out. It doesn't really hold in too well. So let's try one of the ones from my old seat. I think this is the one from this current seat. That fits right in there. And this is the other one. And they're all in. I just push a little bit of weight on there. And then this is the headrest. And it should go in. Headrest is in. Lastly, the control panel. Not that big of a deal, really. It looks like it's a lot, but it's pretty straightforward. Couple screws, again, 2 screws. As you can see, you plug right in. I'm trying to adjust this so you can see better here, sorry. Plug it right in, and then again, see how this little cup here goes over that tab. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it up like this here, as you can see. Put this in, and then it should just lock right in. Once you hear that click, you know you're golden. And then this goes up there like that. So that's up there. You can see the other piece there. Somehow it's got to get up and then down. It's a little bit of a hassle. You can also see there's a, I'll take this off again. there's this clip here, this bracket, so you know it slides in this way. And you can see right there is that other piece on this clip that goes on there. So it's a little challenging doing it with one hand, so I'm gonna pause this and come right back to it. Okay, some finagling, got it on. It didn't take that long, really. Just a little bit of farting around, if you will. Going to put the 2 screws that hold it in place in. And like I said before, you might remember when we start taking it apart, there were 2 torque screws, one in the back here, somewhere around there, and then one in the front. So I'm gonna try to line this up a little better, and I'll be back again. I got the one in the back, and you can see there's one more up here up front just to kind of hold it in place, keep it from flopping around. And that's it. The seat is done. One last thing, I had these straps going around here and here around these connectors, but they weren't quite holding it tight enough. So I went up to this point here, and this one I went up a little farther up to that one just to make sure it's nice and snug. That's it. I'm gonna give it a shot here in the truck, and I gotta hook up the battery and do some more stuff, but I'll let you guys know how it goes. It looks perfect right now. A little dusty, but other than that, before I put it in the truck, I forgot one thing. I was cleaning up the side and noticed I hadn't put this on. You can see that horseshoe clip is still there. This only goes on one way. You can see the star bit has a larger point on the sprocket there. I don't know if you can see that too well, but that lines up pretty much like this. And you tap it on and you hear the click and you're set and ready to go. So I'm gonna throw it in the truck. I'll let you guys see it, how it fits. And we got it all mounted, the connectors hooked up to one main connector, and then I'll hook up the batteries to the truck and hopefully it works. I've got the space ready for the seat. As you can see, I've got the 2 bolts for the front there, 2 bolts for the back there. Try to vacuum it out best I could. I figure that under the seat nobody's gonna see it, but didn't want to get any crud locked under the bolts there. So I'm gonna pause it, go grab the seat. Okay, I've got the seat positioned in the car. I'm going to try to maybe hook up the main harness for it here. I believe it goes like this. You can see there's 2 little tines that go up there, push in until it locks. This goes up, that's in. It's all wired up, simple as that. Now, I'm not sure exactly where this goes. I can't recall how this locks on, but for now, as long as the truck is in with the seat, I'm in good shape. So apparently the people that let this took the seat out, moved it all the way forward. So that's fine by me. And get some in the back, then I won't be able to get the front ones in until I get the power on, but at least I'll get two bolts in. At least started. All right, I think my next step is to hook up the battery so I can move the seat back. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, you guys might recall my truck has 2 batteries. I'm not really sure why, except it's gonna cost me a lot more when the batteries go out. I hooked up the battery on the left and I heard the door jar chime, if you will. So I'm thinking that's probably the main one. Get these batteries going here real quick, and then we'll go in and try the seat here. I think this socket is I'm not sure the size. Looks like it's a, what is that, 10 millimeter, in case you're hunting around for the socket. You never know. Okay, I'm back here. Got the battery connected. Like I said, 10 millimeter socket. I only have 2 bolts lightly tightened down in the back, nothing in the front because I can't get it. The seat's moved all the way forward, but let's see if it works. What do you know? The front goes up, front goes down, back goes up, back goes down, the whole thing goes up, and the whole thing slides forward. Now, like I said before, this is not the 10-way power seat, so I had to use the manual lever here. If I push that up and slide this bit, oops, not bolted in, so that's not going to work out too well for me, but let's see if I can hold it in place here. Let's see if that does any good. Sorry, guys. Yes, I can recline it. Everything works as it should. The cushions look perfect. Not a flaw in it anywhere. So I'm going to bolt this up and give you one last walkthrough. You might recall once these are bolted up, I have those small caps to put on. Those just snap in place. Those are relatively easy. I'm not a mechanic, not a body shop guy, interior guy until today. If I could do it, almost anybody can. I'm pretty handy, but I still had to run out and buy the Torque T50 nut driver. I'm sorry, the socket for the seat belt transfer. But other than that, everything's good. I'll give you one last update here in a minute. Okay, there you have it. It's bolted in. Power seat mechanism works awesome. You really raise it up for short drivers. Forward, backwards, lower just the back, just the front, raise the back, all sorts of things. I'm sure the 10-way seat is much more adjustable, but for my needs, this is a huge improvement. And then you got the recliner feature, manual recliner, and it just goes all the way back like that. So I should be in good shape for the next several miles in comfort. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and I'll do what I can. Again, this is a 2024 F250 upgraded with the seat from a 23 F150. Have a great day. Thanks. Okay, first test drive, no lights on.